Hi everyone. Today we're going over section 4.3, adding and subtracting rational expressions. In this video, we're going to cover problem number 5, number 6, and number 7. When we look at problem number 5, the first thing you want to notice is that you're adding. It's not the same as just simplifying, and it's not the same as solving. You are adding. So in order to add or subtract fractions, we need a common denominator. So step one is, what is that common denominator? The same as the least common multiple. So what is the LCD, lowest common denominator? 4m. Once we know that the common denominator is 4m, then we can fix the numerators and then combine like terms. Okay, so step one, common denominator. I know that I want this over 4m. Both denominators can multiply into 4m. Then I fix the numerator. So what am I missing here to get to 4m? I've got to multiply by 4. I can't just willy-nilly multiply the denominator by 4, but I could multiply the whole fraction by 1. Anything times 1 is itself. So let's multiply by 4 over 4. That's 1. That gets me 4m to the common denominator in the first term. And then in the numerator, 6 times 4 is 24. And then I'm adding the 1 from the second fraction. So 24 plus 1, 25 over 4m. Is there anything that I can divide and simplify? No, so I'm done. Let's look at problem number 6. Same thought process. Step 1, get a common denominator. Step 2, multiply to fix the numerators. And then step 3, combine like terms. Let's look at r minus 2 and r minus 1. They're both binomials and they're distinct. So the common denominator would be r minus 2 times r minus 1. Now, how do I fix the numerators? So how do I get from r minus 2 to r minus 2 times r minus 1? I've got to multiply, and let me write this out so that you can see what's happening here. I have 2 over r minus 2, and then subtracting r plus 3 over r minus 1. Notice I put all those pieces in parentheses so you can kind of think about it as one term, one piece. All right, now I'm missing an r minus 1. I've got both of these need to be common, the same denominator. So I'll multiply by r minus 1. Well, I can't just multiply by r minus 1, but I can multiply by 1. So I multiply by r minus 1 over r minus 1. And then the second term, I'm missing an r minus 2. So I'll multiply by r minus 2 over r minus 2. How do I get these fractions to have a common denominator? I multiply to see what I'm missing. The common denominator, the least common multiple, what all the denominators can multiply into is r minus 2 times r minus 1. Then I fix the numerators by multiplying by what I'm missing. Now, I need to distribute and combine like terms in order to simplify this subtraction problem. Notice subtraction means distribute the negative. Be careful when distributing. Let's look at the first piece, distributing the 2. And the second one, we're distributing a binomial. So make sure you take the r through and the 3 through. Okay, let's do it. The first piece will be 2r minus 2. Then I'm subtracting this whole entire thing, which when I distribute, I get r squared minus 2r plus 3r minus 6. And then that whole piece is over r minus 1 times r minus 2. We don't need to distribute the denominator. It's actually better to have it in factored form in case when you're all done combining, there might be something in the numerator that can divide out with the denominator. So just leave it as factored form. Okay, what do I need to do next? Distribute that negative to every single term in that second piece, and then combine the like terms. So we see that we have 2r minus 2 minus r squared plus 2r minus 3r plus 6. And we combine the like terms. So I start with a negative r squared. There's nothing to combine, so that stays. And then the r terms will be 2r plus 2r minus 3r. So 2 plus 2 is 4, minus 3 is 1, so plus r. And then I combine the constant terms, so minus 2 and 6. So 6 minus 2 is 4, so plus 4. Now, let's see if there's anything we can factor out from this trinomial. If there were any combinations of 4 that could add or subtract to give you 1, then maybe we could keep factoring this trinomial, but there aren't. The factors of 4 are 4 times 1 and 2 times 2, and there's no way to combine that to get to 1. So I'm done. And the answer to problem number 6 is negative r squared plus r plus 4 divided by r minus 1 times r minus 2. Make sure the denominator is part of your answer. You can't just get rid of it. We're not solving and clearing fractions. We're not simplifying and dividing them out. We are simply adding or subtracting. You need a common denominator, and the answer has to include the denominator. Now let's look at problem number 7. Let's find the common denominator. Notice I have an x minus 3 and a 3 minus x. Is that the same thing? Not quite. But what if we factored out a negative 1? So I take out a negative 1, and this becomes negative 3 plus x. And then since it's commutative because you're adding, just switch places. So this would be negative x minus 3, same as x minus 3. And instead of having this negative in the denominator, we can just make it subtracting. So let's rewrite our problem as 2 over x minus 3, and then taking this negative to go on that whole fraction. So minus 1 over x minus 3. Now we have a common denominator, and we're just subtracting 2 minus 1, which is 1. So the answer to number 7 is 1 over x minus 3, and you're done. We'll see you again soon.